Hey, Coach, we're ready whenever you are if you want to
All right,
start off.
guys. The beginning of spring, we asked our guys to give us 15 great days, and they did. So did our coaching staff. Our coaching staff has gelled, has done a great job of creating a positive energy and culture. We've had some tremendous practices. They put in a lot of offense and defense. Obviously, we were limited today at what we're going to do. We didn't run all our offense, obviously all our defense, and none of our special teams. I thought that we give the quarterbacks a very fair shot today. Each one of them had a shot with the ones, and it was a struggle for offense today. It was a good job on defense. I think when you look at our secondary, they're probably the most improved area on our football team. Durante Jones and Corey Raymond have done a tremendous job. Those guys are playing solid football today. We played one, maybe two coverages, didn't blitz. Thought the front played well. The linebackers are tackling well. Offense, they've shown a better production than they showed today. So I'm just going to give it to a defensive day. We didn't run a lot of our stuff, but overall, great spring.
Hey Ed, like you said, kind of limited by the numbers, but the thing that interests me is every spring game you got like a spring game hero that shows up.
Yeah,
Jared Small
yeah,
and John Trey both.
yeah,
We're all over the field today. Could you just kind of talk about the
yeah,
unique nature of a spring game that
yeah.
a guy can shine like?
Well, it's good to see. To be honest with you, Mike, Jared Smalls had a great spring. And I haven't mentioned him much, but he's going to play for us. He's playing very well. And John Trey has had a good spring. He was limited by some days that he was hurt, but I'm very proud of those guys. Those guys are fifth-year seniors, very experienced, and both of them had a good game. It was good to see, but that's what we've been seeing every day in practice.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, could you kind of, I guess, break down your four quarterbacks? I mean, all relatively even snaps. Some played well better against the first team defense and second team defense. What do you see out there?
I have to look at it on film, but I'm looking at Miles 11 for 15, 106. You know, uh, I think that Max was 8 of 13, 77. Garrett 7 of 12. TJ's 4 of 9. I think that what you saw out there today is what you seen in spring ball. We come off the field one day, Garrett could be the best quarterback. Then the next day was TJ. Then the next day was Miles. The next day was Max. So I think that when we come back to camp, we're going to have to designate certain amount of reps for certain guys and give the first and second guy more reps. I think that's going to be a process during camp. I don't know at what part of camp is going to happen, but we're going to have to give the first and second guy more reps to see who's going to be the starter.
Coach, this is Josh Sibley of Louisiana Agrarian Football. Going back to the play of your linebackers, you had two guys that had double digits tackles today. Is that obviously that's something that you wanted to see in
Yeah,
their production?
yeah.
Could you just speak a little bit about that?
Very pleased with Blake and his coaching. I think that when I interviewed him, he was coaching at the University of Miami. His style and my style was a lot alike. We really worked on our guys attacking, coming downhill, using their hands to get off a block. A lot of drills that the defensive linemen have done, our linebackers have done probably for the first time. And I think that they're doing a better job of keeping it simple, playing their gaps, and using their hands. So very pleased with the linebacker play, but it's something that we've seen all spring.
Coach, a lot of production from that interior line. Looking at Jaqueline Roy, Jacoby, and Guillory. Just have you seen that from those guys this spring, and just how pleasing was it to see that kind of pressure come up?
Yeah, we're more of an attacking defensive line. We've got some depth there, and we think that we've got 4 or 5 guys that can rotate in there and play very well. And it was good to see J. Roy have a good day today. Mason Smith was limited a little bit. He had a minor injury. Those guys are really good football players, probably NFL players, both of them. And then, you have some experience with Glenn Logan and Neil Farrell. And then Joe Evans, I don't know what Joe did today as far as production-wise, but day in and day out, he's been our best interior lineman. So you got 5 guys right there that can really play.
Hey, Eddie, you mentioned that you guys weren't going to get too complicated in offense today, but you guys had some deep passes, some explosive plays. What did you want to see out of your offense
Yeah.
today? And what did you see out of your offense
Yeah.
today?
I wanted to see some explosive plays, and we wanted to see some production. I think we got stalled a little bit on first down. I think that we didn't do a good enough job on first down. We got behind the chains a little bit. Our protection wasn't as good as we wanted to in our run game. And, the short passing game has to improve. We got an empty a lot, which was good, and we're going to get an empty. We didn't show everything. I think when you put John Emery in there, when you put the guys that are going to be in there, we're going to have a very good offense.
Hey, Ed, it seemed like your secondary was really active today. Sorry if you answered this. I got knocked off the Zoom for a minute. But they look very good today with some interceptions and a lot of good things happening.
Yeah, thank you for noticing that. I think the secondary is the most improved part of the team. And again, we don't have Eli Ricks coming, is going to be coming at corner. And we have some talented young safeties coming. But I think that Durante Jones and Corey Raymond's done a tremendous job of, playing more zone coverage, knowing we're pattern reading a little bit. We know we have to switch some stuff off. But I tell you what, this Durante Jones is a talented football coach. And I think our players have taken a liking to him, respect him, but also want to play hard for him.
Can you mention a couple of guys that you thought flashed really well today?
Dwight McLaughlin. You look at Dwight. Dwight had a great day today, and that was probably a pick. I blew the whistle early because I didn't want one of the receivers to get hurt. But that guy had a great spring. And he played cornerback because Eli Ricks wasn't there. I think Derek Stingley has had a tremendous spring. And you look at Jay Ward. Moving him to free safety. I think he's going to be a force for him there. He's a good blitzer. And then Derek Stingley, I think, is the best corner in America.
Thanks.
Henry, you trying to talk, Henry? Can't hear you. I can't hear you, Henry.
I think Henry might be up next.
Okay.
The race after, beyond Keyshawn Butte at receiver, how wide open is that moving into the summer and fall and knowing that you got more signees still to arrive?
Yeah, we need a lot of guys to show up, Shay. We're gonna go 4 or 5 wides. We need some young receivers to get after it. Deion Smith has showed us that he can play. He's a talented young man. Obviously, has to get more reps, get in better football shape. And then we got two young guys coming in too. So we expect, and then receiver is a place where freshmen can play, especially in this offense. I think it's very simple for them. They can use their talent. But we have all the guys that on our receiving corps is going to have to play. And I'll tell you, a guy named Evan Francione, who's been with us for a while, had an excellent spring. He had an injury that kept him out the rest of the spring. I expect him to play some snaps for us too.
Ed, when you look at the balance of the spring, not today, because you said you're not showing everything, but did you see what you wanted out of the offense? When you hired these coaches, the style that you're trying to bring back, did you see what you wanted overall?
Yes, phenomenal. Yeah, a great job. A great job of bringing back Joe Brady's offense, seeing the plays that we ran in 2019, doing a good job of spreading the football around, giving our players, the football athletes, in space and let them make plays. I think they've done a tremendous job of that, but we got some work to do. I think that when we solidify the repetition between the quarterbacks and get more quarterbacks, the first and second team guys, more reps, I think we're going to look a lot better.
Ed, can you tell me what you think about the O-line? It's hard to tell, is your defensive line good? And your offensive line is poor. It's kind of hard to tell.
It's been like that back and forth. I think both sides are good. It's been like that back and forth all spring. And I think 2 Saturdays ago, the offensive line had their best scrimmage, and I praised them. Then the next Saturday, here comes the defensive line. But lately, it's been the defensive line. I think Andre Carter has done a tremendous job of teaching them how to get off the football and attack. I think it's good for our offensive line to see that. They need to go against a good defensive line every day because we're going to go against great defensive lines all year. So we're just making each other better.
That's all we have time for today. Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Go Tigers.